Let's throw it up to you guys. Comedies of errors, this could be called, really, isn't it? It's where do we feel that the boundaries should be drawn in comedy? Is it just down to self-censorship? Are we happy having the tabloids acting as some kind of fun police? Let's see what you have to say.
We've got some great calls, but we're going to start with Johnny first on line 1.
Morning, Johnny.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. Comedy, do you have any concerns about how comedy is being sort of censored by the press at the moment?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, basically, comedians are the advocates of free speech, like we all are.
Although Larry is right, some comedy is very close to bullying, which is not a form of free speech.
Well, I don't know. If you anything you want to say is really a form of free speech.
Well, no, I'm thinking of Jimmy Carr, who I admire very much. I'd like to think of as a friend. He does a routine. You can get on one of his DVDs in which he picks on a couple of people in the audience. He lays into them and lays into them and lays into them. Everybody else is laughing at their expense. That's bullying, isn't it?
Context. If you go to a live stand-up show and you're in the front row, you know that is a risk that will happen.
Right.
If you don't want to do that, maybe you should sit several rows back. You know, you have a choice of seat. They don't make you sit at the front to get picked
Good point,
on.
good point. And the way the tabloids are treating our comedians at the moment, they're sort of judging everything they say to see whether it might cause offence or not?
Well, I think the point that was raised earlier that, you know, someone will say that joke at that time, and then if it's then escalated by the tabloids, then no, that's completely wrong because it's taking the joke out of context. I mean, Alan Carr, when he dedicated his award, well, yes, that was quite funny. I mean, if it had been the head of social services saying, "Oh, I'll dedicate this to Karen Matthews," it would have been completely different.
Good point. Johnny, thank you for the call. Let's have another, please.
Let's go to Shirley then on line 2.
Shirley, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, what do you think about our current state of comedy and this matter of taste and offence?
Yes, well, I must say that I'm not happy about it at all. I think probably I represent the older generation. And to me, the comedy has got totally out of hand.
So, Shirley, when you say the older generation, do you mean the older generation that enjoyed those fine cracks that Bernard Manning used to tell? That kind of older generation?
No, I didn't like those either, I have to say. No, I'm afraid that I do find that the present comedy is offensive. I find it very, very rude and totally unnecessary, frankly. I like Johnny Carr as well, but why he has to be so rude, why he has to make fun of bodily parts and things that go on, why...
Shirley. You want to talk about jokes involving bodily parts? Let me just throw out a couple of names. Shirley, you can't be serious because Shakespeare made a lot of gags about bodily parts, all right? Chaucer made gags about bodily parts. I mean, come on, Shirley. Thank you for the call. Let's get real, yeah? Let's have another.
OK, we've now got Sam, who's on line 3.
Sam, good morning.
Hello, Matthew.
Are you concerned about offensive comedy?
No, I'm not really. But, I mean, I don't think that they should be censored. But you'd hope that they would have the foresight to understand which issues to joke about and at which time. Like, for example, Alan Carr joking about the Shannon Matthews thing at that particular time. It's not even comedy.
Sam. As I said this yesterday, and I'll stand by it. No one died. You know, no one died.
No,
everybody's safe.
It's not as serious as that.
You could have a look at Karen Matthews, and you could say, so spectacularly thick, right, that it verges on funny. That anybody could be that stupid and think they could get away with it. There's all kinds of tragedies, the cost of the police and everything else.
You're not taking into account the effect that it had on people around Karen Matthews.
What? The fact that she had tried to abduct her own child, or the fact that it was covered by the tabloids and this mawkish kind of, oh, here's another child missing, the Maddie kind of thing. I don't know.
I mean, his type of comedy was just to mention that. I mean, older comedians used to, like, their comedy was actually clever.
Right, jokes about black people were funny, older comedy.
I think in that joke, the Alan Carr joke, OK, you could say that the timing was off and it was too soon afterwards, but, you know, and that's why people didn't find it funny. He's actually making a valid point. She's been turned into a kind of an icon by the very papers who are turning around and saying his joke is not funny, splashing her face across every page that we get, turns her into this thing where you suddenly think, God, maybe maybe I regard her in the same light as, I don't know, Kate Winslet or the other people who splashed across the front page.
I think there's also
It's
a thing
good
kind
point
of, you know, in comedy which comedians sort of think of as what's called a relief laugh, where you'll make a really out there joke to an audience of people who are so wound up, so kind of upset by things, they don't really know what to do with themselves. And what you'll get is when you make a joke that's sort of on the edge like that, this huge wave of laughter from the room, and it is just relief.
Someone's finally said something.
Someone's said something.
Yeah.
Someone's yes, exactly. It's like that thing where someone makes a sort of slightly lame joke at a wake, and everyone just has this great, oh, thank goodness, we can sort of just let something out. And I think it doesn't have to, it's not necessarily irresponsible.
To wrap this up, perhaps the difference between Alan Carr's quip and Russell Brand's is that Alan Carr's quip has been criticised by the tabloids without anybody actually out there, without any victim or any member of the Matthews family that's saying offended. And perhaps the difference between that and the Russell Brand, Jonathan Ross thing was you actually had the victim of the joke coming in, albeit 4 days after he'd agreed or in some way agreed to it happening, saying, I don't like it. So
He hadn't
agreed. Well, he'd asked for the script to be cut back.
Yeah,
and
he
it was
didn't agree to be broadcast as it was.
He said, can I have the script cut back a bit? And it was cut back by 3/4, according to the Daily Mail's own publication of the whole transcript. 3/4 strikes me as being a bit more than a bit. He would have heard it all.
Which bits were cut, doesn't it matter?
Yeah, but it was an awful lot of, you know, a huge offensive slab, of which 3/4 was cut back.
His granddaughter has done ever so well out of it.
She
so
has.
that's all I can.
Well said. Thank you for the last call, Sam. We've got to take a break. Rachel Moore is still to come, of course, but for the panel, their work today is done. Great to see you again, Katie.
Thank you
as
for
always,
having
best of
me.
luck with the big-ass Christmas special, Saturday, ITV2.
Thanks.
And as for you two, we'll see you back here for another go tomorrow. Give it up for our fabulous panel, ladies and gentlemen. Wicked stuff, that last one.